Green Bay. Talk about a little bit of football. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft returned to full 11-on-11 team drills for the first time on Sunday, taking an encouraging step in his recovery from the torn ACL he suffered in Week 9 last season. Kraft had, at the time of the injury, Kraft had 32 catches for 489 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now, the Packers offense certainly missed Kraft. Green Bay averaged over 360 yards per game through the first 9 games, ranking 8th in the NFL. But after Kraft's injury, Jordan Love and company averaged under 310 yards per game, dropping to 22nd in the NFL. Now, I'm sad to say we lost Louis Riddick, but we did gain Mike Tannenbaum.
Next man up.
Next man up, out of the bullpen. All right, Mike T, I'll start with you. Is Jordan Love a great quarterback?
Yes, and he's on the precipice of being elite. When you think about it, he's only 27 years old. He's already started 48 games, and he cleaned up a lot of things we had to see him clean up last year, like his turnovers, cut down on his interceptions. And you go back to that great game in the playoffs last year, he was 24 of 46, 323 yards and 4 touchdowns. And Kmart, you mentioned it. If they get Tucker Kraft back and you have Christian Watson and Matthew Golden, who was the best receiver, in my opinion, in the draft 2 years ago, who is a great route runner, really good player, who plays to his time speed, this should be a tremendous offense. I think Jordan Love is in the prime of his career, and it's the perfect juxtaposition of 27 years old and experienced, and the best is yet to come.
Well, he's 1-3 in the postseason. So when you're 1-3 in the postseason, you cannot be a great quarterback. And remember,
wait.
I'm going to give you the two.
Wait, hold on, Chris. Was that his fault in
the
Chicago?
Last drive,
was that his
they
fault?
did not organize that last 30 seconds properly. They did not organize that. They did not organize that well. And let's not forget the San Francisco game 2 years before that. Last quarter and a half, 3 for 9, 45 yards, and 2 interceptions. 3 for 9. They blew the game against the Niners. Remember the game a couple years ago?
I didn't realize that.
So let's take it easy.
Hold on. I didn't realize that Jordan Love was he responsible to cover Cole Kmet in the back of the end zone? Was that part of his?
Listen.
Is that part of his job?
Does he have to throw and catch all the things?
He's 1-3, Mike. In postseason play, you can't put him as an elite quarterback at 1-3.
They're 2-2. That's like saying that Josh Allen is responsible for the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, because he scored 38 points in the game. Well, what are you going to do in the San Francisco game? How do we evaluate that game 2 years ago? When he was terrible.
4 touchdown passes, 343 yards.
Did you remember the last quarter and a half of that game? 3 for 9, 45 yards, 2 picks. That's not elite quarterback play. I'm surprised at you.
Well, what Mike is saying, though, his counter is then we have a lot of talented quarterbacks who don't have the best postseason record. So are you going to put Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson,
I am going to
Justin Herbert, all those guys are, you're saying all of them?
Next. Right? The idea, we see this in all sports. We put people in the Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame of the very good instead of the Hall of Fame of the great. We see that all the time in all the sports. Why don't we stop with the elite level of a guy who's won 1 playoff game? There are 4 or 5 elite quarterbacks, elite, in the NFL. And you got Allen, who's an elite, and he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he's elite. Mahomes hasn't won a Super Bowl. Oh, he's won 3. He's elite. Stafford, he's an elite Hall of Fame quarterback. Burrow, he's been hurt a lot. He's probably elite because he's one of only 2 quarterbacks to beat Mahomes in Kansas City, and he won in Buffalo, and he could have won a Super Bowl.
Wait a minute, Soggy. I was trying to give you space to give your argument, and now I feel like.
Okay, where did I score? Burrow?
Yeah, and I'm a big Joe Burrow.
Wait, are you saying he's not?
No, I think I just feel like the reasons he's given for certain guys, it's just not all. It's just.
Well, let me ask you this way:
level.
we'll take Burrow or Love. If you're starting a season today, which quarterback you want?
Well, I'm hosting, so I don't have to give an answer.
Burrow. The answer is Burrow. But
although there's a qualification there, Kevin. If you're saying for a season, probably Joe Burrow. But if the 4 of us were starting a team today and said we have a guy for the next 20 years, I'm not so sure it's Jordan Love.
Well,
outside of Justin Herbert, I'm not so sure it wouldn't be Jordan Love.
Well, the answer is Joe Burrow, but okay, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So a couple things here. Number one is that I think Jordan Love is on the short list, not number one because I think number one is Dak, but the short list to join that elite level this time next year. When we're doing our little tiers here, I think these on the short list, Mount Rushmore of guys who are going to have the capability to get into that tier next year as Matthew Stafford did last year. Okay, best 3rd down quarterback in the league. And that to me, Mike, you know this, that to me is a signal that your passes are really good because everybody knows that you're passing, especially on 3rd and 7 and long, one of the best players in football. Everyone knows you're passing, and you're still able to complete those passes. That's arm talent there. I was in Green Bay 2 weeks ago with Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, and I said, hey, where's Jordan Love's biggest growth come from? And Matt LaFleur said, it's in setting the protections, being smart, being a field general, understanding how to get us in the right looks. He's growing every single year. He came in as a raw quarterback, learned under Aaron Rodgers, learned under Matt LaFleur. He's making leaps every single year. He is one of the best downfield throwers in football. That, again, is the hardest thing to do in the sport. I love everything about him. If they had a pass rush in Chicago last year, to your point, Mike Tannenbaum, his narrative is completely different.
Amen.
That's
Keep going.
That's the long and the short of it. And what's going on right now in the Midwest, you can't go to a gas station in the Midwest without someone coming up to you and saying, hey, Caleb Williams and Jordan Love, who's better? That's the debate right now in the Midwest. Right now, it is Jordan Love, and it is not his fault that they didn't have a pass rush in the fourth quarter.
Mad Dog, they got you on the ropes.
Yeah, I think, listen, the Ram, you could talk about pass rushers all you want. Go look at that last drive. They've cost themselves a play or two with that timeout and everything else.
That's
and
totally fair.
But that's elite. That's the sort of thing that I want a quarterback who I'm paying $60 million a year to. He has to play. He has to make that play.
Chris,
that's the difference between what you want and what I want at the position.
Chris, what I want is a guy that's going to throw 4 touchdown passes, throw for over 300 yards, not turn the ball over. Because a year ago we'd be sitting here, oh, Jordan would be pretty good if he doesn't turn the ball over. Well, we got rid of that.
Well, what's your excuse for the San Francisco game?
That was 2 years ago.
Philadelphia.
Okay,
He didn't play well there either.
Okay, on the road against a division rival, he played more than well enough to win the game. That play that Caleb Williams made to Cole Kmet is a generational play that, look, they blew a double coverage. We know that. My point is the job description of the quarterback is to put your team in the end zone. He did that against a division rival in bad conditions. And to me, at 27 years old, given the experience he has, he is not only primed to be a great quarterback today, but he is set up for, to me, at least the next decade.
The X factor here on offense is Matthew Golden, their first-round pick from a year ago. Training camp, he was the star, kind of disappeared during the season. He's going to have a more defined role this year. I think that the way they draft and develop in Green Bay is really important. I think that with Tucker Kraft, who's one of the best tight ends in football, he's about to get paid. We're starting to see, as long as Micah Parsons is healthy, that roster getting in its final form, as long as the corners are good enough.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. We do want to transition now to some personal news for us. Bill Rasmussen, the co-founder of ESPN, died this week at 93 due to the effects of Parkinson's disease. Bill, along with his son Scott, pushed through the noise that a 24-hour sports network would never work. And he took the risk anyway, maxing out his credit cards and jumping into the world of satellite television to create the first sports network in 1979. And the rest is sports history, with ESPN marking nearly 47 years of serving sports fans anytime, anywhere. ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitaro released the following statement. Bill was a remarkable man, a visionary, and an innovator who conceived the idea of a network entirely devoted to sports. Quite simply, none of us would be here today if it wasn't for Bill's passion and all the hard work and entrepreneurial spirit he put into building ESPN in the late 70s. Key aspects of our company culture that still carry on to this day. Now, obviously, Bill changed all of us and the way we sort of consume sports 24/7. I'm curious, how has ESPN sort of played a role for all of you guys?
I'll start. This is all I've wanted to do since I was 3 years old. And ESPN existing and the way that it grew in my life gave me a professional goal, gave me a professional purpose.